Have you ever felt stuck in a seemingly dream job, wondering if there's more to life than the daily grind? Emily did. Stuck in a $300,000 a year dream job, she felt increasingly empty. What most people chase their whole lives, security, prestige, wasn't enough. But instead of clinging to the familiar, Emily took a terrifying leap. She dared to chase true wealth, not the kind in a bank account, but the richness of living a life driven by passion and purpose. Before we dive into how she transformed her life, let's unveil the 3 insights that propelled Emily to leave everything behind. 1. The illusion of job security, discovering the fragile nature of perceived stability in the corporate world. 2. The quest for purpose, over paychecks, realizing that true satisfaction comes from fulfilling work, not just a high salary. 3. The power of working smarter, not harder, learning that efficiency and strategic choices can lead to greater success and happiness than long hours and hard labor. These insights are so powerful, they'll make you question your own path and unlock the potential for a life filled with genuine fulfillment. This isn't just Emily's story, it's a chance to rewrite your own. The truth is, Emily wasn't sure if she was making the right choice or if everything would turn out okay. But what she didn't know was that if she didn't take the chance, she might regret it later. As Obama famously said, you don't need to be completely sure to make a decision. Gather all the ideas, information, and perspectives you can, and once you feel about 51% sure, make the call. Find peace knowing you did your best with the information you had at the time. Hopefully, sharing what helped her reach that 51% will give you the courage to do the same. During her 9 years in banking, there were a few people Emily really enjoyed working with. One of them was a woman on her team who had been doing the job for almost 20 years. She loved what she did and sort of took on a mentoring role with Emily, showing her how things were done. She used to sit down with Emily after work to answer her questions and fill her in on all the office gossip. About 7 months after Emily started at the bank, one evening in the office, her phone rang. She answered, put it down, and walked away from her desk. Right after she left, Emily's manager called her into another room. He told her she had just been promoted and explained her new role. Emily mentioned that it sounded a lot like her job, covering the same clients. He clarified that she had been let go by HR. Watching her colleague's desk being cleared out, Emily felt a profound clarity wash over her. This wasn't just about job security. It was a stark reminder of life's fleeting nature and the urgency to pursue what truly mattered to her. At first, Emily should have been happy about her promotion, but it made her think differently about work. She realized that the company doesn't owe you anything beyond your paycheck. While she got lucky this time, things could easily change, and she might find herself in her shoes next year. People say your worth at work is tied to how much time you put in, but even that's not entirely in your control. Emily realized she couldn't be truly financially independent as long as she let others have more control over her money than she did. The first few years at her job were great. She was learning a lot and felt like she was growing. But then things got boring, she wasn't challenged anymore, and she felt out of sync. It started affecting her mental health, so she decided to try therapy. In her second session, her therapist suggested a life coach. She was skeptical at first, but she took some time alone to figure out why she was feeling off. During those days of reflection, Emily realized she felt trapped. She had no real interest in helping big-shot CEOs or handling billion-dollar deals. She was only doing it for the paycheck and the social status it brought. She was living her life based on what society expected of her, thinking she should be grateful for having a prestigious job and a good salary, even though it wasn't what she truly wanted. What Emily really wanted was to inspire and empower people to take control of their finances and their lives. That's what success meant to her. She does that through her YouTube channel, courses, and workshops. Once she got clear on her purpose and became obsessed with pursuing it, nothing else mattered. Sure, walking away from a 6-figure bonus was tough. Everyone Emily talked to urged her to reconsider and stay a bit longer for the money. But her bigger purpose took over. The journey wasn't without its hurdles. Facing financial uncertainty and skepticism from her peers, Emily doubled down on her resolve. She leaned into frugal living, invested in self-education, and gradually built a community around her vision, transforming challenges into stepping stones. Emily once believed that longer hours meant more money. She thought if she took on extra tasks and stayed late, it would eventually pay off. But that wasn't true. Fast forward 5 years, and she's making double the money in half the time. So, she wanted to share with you how to make more money by working less. Everything she's telling you comes from her own experience and advice from productivity experts and successful business people. Realizing she wasn't valued appropriately, Emily sought out a market where her skills commanded higher worth. Like selling at a flea market versus a high-end auction house, the environment mattered. For instance, a friend made a 25% profit selling land locally, but elsewhere, it was 100%. Similarly, at a bank, despite asking for a raise, she couldn't earn more until she switched companies, where she received 30% more. When you're undervalued, seeking opportunities elsewhere can be the solution. Emily noticed that her skills, whether they're in numbers, analysis, or communication, are valued differently depending on the room or industry she's in. So, instead of just focusing on improving her skills or working harder to prove her worth, she's learned to focus on maximizing her earning potential by being in the right environment. It's about putting herself where her skills will bring the best rewards, so she's not settling for less than she deserves. Next, there's something she calls the Steve Jobs rule, which you can apply to various aspects of life, like your career, relationships, or business. It's based on the Pareto principle, which says that 20% of the effort creates 80% of the results. For example, in relationships, we often get most of our happiness from a few key behaviors of our partners. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple, he used this principle to save the company from bankruptcy. He focused on the products that brought in the most profits, like the iPad, iPhone, and Mac, and cut out the rest. This concept doesn't always mean it's exactly 80-20. It could be 70-30 or 90-10. The point is, most of the results come from a small portion of the efforts. So, Emily's applied this idea to make more money while working less. She thinks about what tasks on her to-do list will bring in 80% of the results, and she focuses on those areas. She prioritizes the projects that will give her the most return on investment, making sure to give them her full attention first. Then, she tackles the less impactful tasks afterward. Setting an achievement date has been crucial for her. Emily used to spend too much time planning and analyzing every detail before taking action. But she's learned that staying in the planning phase for too long doesn't lead to results. She reminds herself of the quote, "Don't mistake activity for achievement." So now, when she has a new idea or project, she sets a date to take action. This helps her move from planning to action more efficiently. For example, when she wanted to get into real estate, Emily spent a lot of time researching and analyzing deals. But she hesitated to make offers because she was afraid of what might happen if her offer was accepted. She realized she was stuck in the planning phase and wasn't taking the final step needed to see results. Now, she sets a non-negotiable action date for herself when starting something new. It keeps her focused and ensures she doesn't spend too long planning without taking action. The fourth thing she focused on was value over hours. To break free from the trap of trading time for money, you need income sources that aren't tied to how many hours you work. Many of us in day jobs think the only way to make more money is by working longer hours or getting a higher salary. Emily used to think the same way, but there's a limit to how much time you can sell. For example, she has a friend who's a personal trainer. Before the pandemic, she had a full schedule with almost 50 clients, but she hit a ceiling. No matter how many clients she took on or how many group sessions she held, she couldn't make significantly more money because her time was capped. Then, she shifted online. She started creating free content and developed an app for workout and nutrition guidance. Her client base grew exponentially because there was no limit to how many people could sign up for her app. She put in the same amount of time but made more money because she wasn't restricted by hours. Like Emily, many have found their calling beyond the conventional. Mark, once a software developer, now runs a nonprofit for tech education in underserved communities. Lisa, a former marketing executive, has found joy in eco-friendly fashion design. Their stories, like Emily's, inspire a common thread of change and courage. Of course, this route can be riskier, but the potential rewards are greater. If you want to make more money while working less, change your mindset from selling your time to adding value to as many people as possible. The fifth thing is to be the captain. Naval Ravikant said that what you work on and who you work with matter more than how hard you work. Working smart means focusing on the right things and collaborating with the right people. If you're always caught up in day-to-day tasks, you won't see the bigger picture. Spend time working on the business instead of in the business. Surround yourself with skilled people who can handle different aspects of the business. These are the 5 things Emily's been doing to make more money while working less. If you want ideas for income streams that don't require trading time for money, let her know. To discover more financial insights, especially from other financial experts like Warren Buffett, check out the video on your screen. Keep learning with us. Thank you for joining us. Until we meet again, start small, think big, and stay financially enlightened as you build your future.